Hey, what's happening, Spider friends? Welcome back to Marvel's Spider-Man on K-Wing's Let's Plays, and there's a brand new update.
Ooh.
Wow, you sound terrible. The Fantastic Four suits. So we've got the Bombastic Bagman, Amber has a cold, from the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, number 258, where Peter Parker lost his costume because of the alien symbiote, so think the 80s, and rather than run around not wearing anything, he took a spare Fantastic Four suit. And we have the Bombastic Bagman. Although there's a key difference right here. He actually was barefoot. So he didn't even have the Fantastic Four boots. Because this was just a spare costume. And he was like, you know what? I'm just going to wear this and never wear it again. Because it's better than going around not wearing anything. Which would, you know, be indecent exposure and all that fun stuff.
And this guy, like, this was Peter Parker that did this, or somebody else?
Nope, this was Peter, 80s.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird.
It was after he was separated from the Venom suit. So the other suit that they have in this game too, which we'll be looking at tomorrow because we have Kingdom Hearts videos and stuff like that, will be the Future Foundation suit, which brings the tally of Spider-Man suits to 40, which is quite a bit, but more on that costume tomorrow.
More on that tomorrow.
Exactly. And this is a free update, so you guys can download it today or update your system. I got an alert on my phone, and some of our viewers let me know when I was in sweet dreamland. So that's why I'm up and about, and I sound kind of froggy. But Amber's fighting off a cold.
I am not.
You sound terrible.
I put some spicy, like, stuff on some eggs, and then I thought it would make them taste better, and then it ended up making my throat all messed up.
I ended up doing something. Anyway. So yeah, this is probably the last of the Spider-Man DLC because, or updates, whatever you want to call it. There's no way that they can continue to add costumes to this game because there won't be any costumes for the sequel to this game. Like, there's over 40 costumes. It's still not as many as Spider-Man Unlimited, but it's the most for any console game to date, which is kind of incredible.
I see, so they have to save some costumes for next time.
Right.
Yeah, otherwise there'll be, like, no new costumes. It'll just be the same costumes over again. It'll just be like, meh,
well,
I already saw these.
Spider-Man, in reality, only has about, like, 60 different looks in the entirety of his almost 70 years in existence.
That's surprising he has that many, because I just know...
I actually thought he only had about, like, 60 or maybe 50. So there's 40 in this.
Wow, I just think of his classic suit and... $20.99.
Well, 2099 is a different Spidey, so...
Yeah, so this is interesting. So he just, like, borrowed it from the Fantastic Four? They just had it laying around?
It was a spare suit, so he went in, he took it, and then Johnny Storm was kind of like trolling him. Afterwards, he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Bombastic Bagman," and Spider-Man's like, "I hate you," and then he left. Unfortunately, even though these suits are in the game, the Baxter Building, the place where the Fantastic Four live, is still not in the game because Fantastic Four is kind of held up in a lot of red tape, which they will be debuting in the MCU, I believe, by 2022 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, they still are technically... Well, they were owned by Fox. I don't know what's going on with them now. But don't expect the Baxter Building to pop up. We could have Spidey hang out by Avengers Tower, but this is just a quick little showcase. I actually have a doctor's appointment today, so I just wanted to get you guys up something. And just a reminder, Kingdom Hearts will be today at 6 p.m., and possibly another episode will be uploaded by midnight, but I don't know. We'll see. The plan is to have daily uploads of that series, but I don't know if we'll be able to do like two episodes a day or whatever. So
yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense that he would have to borrow a suit and a bag because it's like he has to cover his face somehow. He has to preserve his identity. So
well, the alien symbiote. Like, remember, the black suit covered his entire body. It made, like, a Spider-Man costume.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of weird.
Once the costume was gone, he didn't really have a spare mask or anything like that. So he just took a paper bag, and he put like a smiley face on it, and there you go.
Why didn't he have his old costume laying around?
He didn't, because he'd been wearing the symbiote suit for so long. Oh, there's no smiley face. Oh well.
Oh, did it usually have a smiley face?
I don't remember. You're asking me to remember something over like 30-something years ago.
I think it would look great if it did have a smiley face. I think that would be more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I would like to be saved by somebody who had a smiley face versus like no expression at all. Yeah. What you have to remember about the costume, though, it was just like literally temporary. I think it only lasted one issue because he was trying to get home to get his regular Spider-Man suit, because he didn't throw it out. He's just like, you know, I got a sleek and awesome new black suit. And later Mary Jane actually made him a black suit. Oh,
that
that's nice.
That he could wear. It's just, it looked like the symbiote suit, but it was just a black costume, no powers.
Yeah, and actually, well, I don't know if I can, this is spoilers or something, but Miles Morales had a pretty cool black Spider-Man suit.
Miles Morales basically took the Spider-Man suit and just kind of like spray painted over it.
Oh, right, that's right, you told me that, I forgot.
Hey guys! Whoa, what's going on here? That's crazy. Now, it's been about a month since I've played this, I believe. Or maybe the beginning of the month. I've been doing so many other games that it's just kind of like, gameplay might not be the best. Whoa, the game is still like figuring out what it's doing. It's like, oh, we have to update the detail.
Oh my gosh, you're in the middle of a butcher shop or something like that.
Yeah,
wow.
It's in the middle of a butcher shop. I also just played Arkham Knight recently to do a Bat News, so I'm rusty on both superhero games now.
I'm surprised, though, in New York City that they have such great sandwiches and people, like, you know, they cook, like, huge things of meat right there, you know, and I'm sure they have a lot of butcher shops around because they do a lot of sandwiches all over New York City.
New York City is the greatest city in the world. What are you talking about? Of course they have stuff everywhere. It's New York. Whoops.
All right, Mr. New Yorker.
Once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker. Can't get over the Fantastic Four boots. He should have been barefoot.
And we actually visited where Spidey lives when we were in New York last
Yeah,
time.
we had a little fun vlog of us getting lost in Queens. We actually ended up down at a security checkpoint in New York City because our GPS, they took us to, we were supposed to go to some hotel, and it ended up taking us to that street, but in
on the
Queens.
way other side of town. So we went through Queens, and I think we went through a little bit of another area of New York too.
Yeah, so make sure when you guys, if you use a GPS to drive around in New York City, though I highly recommend taking the train or like public transportation so you don't have to drive in it, because if you get in an accident in New York City, you'll be done. Like they will sue you to death.
We really need to find a train station on the way there. So we
Probably
can
could take one from Jersey.
Park our car there and then just take the train up for 20 minutes for the rest of the way. It would be so much easier.
But anyway, if you manage to drive in New York City, make sure if you need to go Manhattan, you need to label your GPS as Metro, because that's considered New York City. If you see something that says New York, you could end up in Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx. So you got to be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely, and not all parts of New York are happy and shiny.
That's right. Uh-oh, these guys are doing some pretty bad stuff.
I'm just glad we had something watching out for us, because definitely we could.
I always got a guardian angel following me because I get in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
I used to be pretty adventurous as a kid.
Shadow's like, here I am. I'm your guardian angel right here.
The thing is, I don't know. I always thought the Bombastic Bagman got his debut in the 60s, but I guess I confused that with Spider-Man. I think he wore a Fantastic Four costume, but he had his mask on. I don't remember. I really thought Bombastic Bagman was a 60s thing, not an 80s.
Every time I think of Bombastic Bagman, I think of the, like, oh my gosh, the Fairly Odd Parents thing where, like, Timmy's friend, like, his dad or something ended up failing so bad at something, I think it was like baseball or something, that he ended up wearing a bag over his face because out of shame, like, for a long time. Don't know. That's what I remember. It just feels like a shameful thing that you're ashamed, so you have to put a bag over your head. Bag your face.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, those people seem to either recognize you or think like you're crazy.
They probably think I'm kind of crazy. They don't really care.
Yeah, you would think like people wouldn't really recognize you though, because it's like this isn't your usual costume. But then they think that you must be something like you must be somebody important because you somehow got a hold of a Fantastic Four costume, unless you made it yourself or stole it.
I'm not even sure the Fantastic Four exists in this world, like I said.
Yeah.
The Baxter Building doesn't exist. It's usually... I believe it's in the financial district. Like, the Avengers Tower is usually, you know,
I
somewhere
don't
else.
know. I feel like Fantastic Four is like, it is very interesting. Like, their group is pretty cool, but it's like there's so many other Marvel characters that like kind of outshine them that sometimes
Fantastic Four had a lot of really good stories, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Doom Patrol, which is a really weird DC, not version of the Fantastic Four, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Doom Patrol came out before Fantastic Four, but it was so underrated and just not interesting at all that Fantastic Four, even though it came out like a few months later or whatever, it was more interesting. So, I mean, I got Doom Patrol on the brain because there is a new DC or Warner Brothers show happening in February, like that will have Timothy Dalton as the starring role, and Brendan Fraser is in it.
Wow! Well, Brendan Fraser is in it.
Just his voice. He's playing a man trapped inside of a robot's body.
Oh, that's nice. See, kudos.
Yeah, I'm pretty...
for hiring Brendan Fraser again. Oh my gosh, because it's like I feel so bad for him. Then I've already made my own Brendan Fraser meme. Whenever you're like completely like messed or screwed over by someone, it's like you're being Brendan Frasered.
You're Brendan Frasered. That's really
because it's like you get the short end of the stick when it's like you're completely There
we go. We're just gonna. I like the look of the suit. I mean, I guess this is what the Fantastic Four suit would look like in.
How would the bag stay on
this universe?
Yeah.
And the Fantastic Four is actually going to make their video game debut again for the first time in a long time in the upcoming Switch game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which Amber and I will be looking at on this channel this year. So if you Marvelites need some more Marvel goodness after Spidey is completely over, although I do have some top 10s to finish up, like the worst Spider-Man suits, which I don't know. I mean, I've never been a fan of Bombastic Bagman. It's funny. It's a really funny suit, but it's just like, I don't know. I've never been a super fan of it, you know? It's
really funny looking.
Whoops, I keep forgetting how to do the selfie mode.
Oh my gosh, they do all kinds of weird...
Yeah.
Oh, I like the lines going in. That was kind of cool.
I think I go... It's been so long. There we go. It's supposed to look like that. So, and then you would put that away and you can move him around. See what he looks like. See? There he is.
Selfie.
That's the thumbnail. That's funny.
There you go.
Look, you can see the detail of how messed up the paper bag is.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would get crumpled, you know, flying around New York City on a web-slinging thing.
Yeah.
That was cool. Thank you for showing that off, Kaylin.
Yeah, really so cool. Make sure you guys update your PS4 when you get home from school, or if you are home from school. We're recording this like a little afternoon, and I believe he released at 9 this morning, but I'm pretty sure this is the end of the Spider-Man updates. Because if they keep doing it, they're not going to have any suits left for their next game, which will probably come out in a year or two. Because it was very successful for Sony and Marvel, so... And we enjoyed Spider-Man.
So yeah, when you get home from school, make sure you update your game and get the Bombastic Bagman and download it.
Totally. So anyway, guys and gals, that's it. That's all. Join us tomorrow for the Future Foundation look at the last of the Spider-Man updates. Until we meet again, webheads, God bless and happy gaming.
See ya!